viruses, of which there are 5 main types: A, B, C, D, and E. Hepatitis B and C are major health challenges globally, affecting over 300 million persons worldwide. The suspicion of hepatitis may be a challenge as there are typically no symptoms. However, if infected, non-specific symptoms may include decreased appetite, nausea, vague abdominal discomfort, jaundice or yellow eyes, and abnormal liver function tests. If not treated, hepatitis of any type can lead to cirrhosis and liver cancer, which leads to over 1 million deaths worldwide. If you suspect you may have been exposed to the virus that causes hepatitis, talk to your doctor today and get tested.
This public service announcement is brought to you by the Public Hospitals Authority in conjunction with the Medical Association of the Bahamas and the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
Your #1 team in the north. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
And that concludes the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Raven Davis. Thank you so much for tuning in. The Bahamas Tonight is coming your way next on your screen.
ZNS News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
First at 11. The immediate removal of a supervisor. That's a call from General Post Office workers who took action today, demonstrating their seriousness. The outcome and whether there was any disruption to operations straight ahead. Also, the Deputy Prime Minister on the defense tonight, labeling the Free National Movement's comments towards the Bahamas' space program as stifling progress in the country. And body cams for jet ski operators are still at the forefront following a recent United States advisory warning its citizens about what it called an unregulated and unsafe industry. The Bahamas Tonight at 11 starts now. Good evening, everyone. I'm Royson Jones, and this is the Bahamas Tonight at 11. Welcome to the broadcast. Workers at the General Post Office held a brief demonstration late this morning demanding the immediate removal of their supervisor, who they accuse of being blatantly disrespectful. The action even received a response from the Ministry of Energy and Transport and the union representing those workers, who say further action could be on the way. Corville Pyfram leads us off tonight at 11.
Late Wednesday morning, work at the General Post Office at the Town Center Mall came to a halt as workers hit the pavement, outraged, fed up, and demanding action.
Well, this morning, the staff decided that enough was enough, and so they decided to make a statement in the media, making an appeal to the powers that be to have Mrs. Johnson removed.
Bahamas Public Services Union President Kimsley Ferguson says the workers are demanding the removal of the acting postmaster, Siobhan Johnson, who was assigned to the role late last year after previous Postmaster General Jennifer Johnson was put on leave. The acting postmaster, Ferguson alleges, has demonstrated an unwillingness to communicate with the staff. He accuses her of being abusive and disrespectful, although Johnson insists it's the members who have shown an attitude of disdain from the start. She says they oppose a change to the status quo and the transformation happening at the department.
I myself walked into a hostile environment. So when it comes to respect, that goes both ways.
Mrs. Johnson, who may want to play the victim, is victimizing persons. Again, successive administrations have abused their abilities to appoint. There are certain ways in which you ascend to positions in the public service. This position does not invite or allow for a contract person to ascend to. Again, they are capable and competent individuals who were next to Mrs. Jennifer Johnson, who could have ascended to the leadership in the post office.
The Ministry of Energy and Transport has released a statement acknowledging the temporary disruption at the post office, but assured that the department is open and functioning. Indicated in the statement, while the ministry regrets the action taken by some managers at the post office, the ministry publicly affirms its commitment to engage in dialogue with staff at the post office to resolve those concerns. And as for what the union plans to do next, Ferguson says,
to be continued.
Corvell Pyfrom for the Bahamas Tonight.
Thanks, Corvell. Still on the labor scene, the Union of Tertiary Educators still has its concerns about the appointment of incoming University of the Bahamas president, Dr. Robert Blaine III. Dr. Blaine's appointment as the university's fourth president was announced last month by UB's Board of Trustees following a 9-month-long process. He was chosen from a pool of some 90 candidates however, UTEB quickly voiced its opposition, stating it felt Blaine was the least qualified candidate among the 3 finalists, which included Bahamian scholar Dr. Maria Woodside-Oriaki and Dr. Leroy Hamilton. With Blaine now set to assume his new role on July 1st, the union's position on Blaine's selection hasn't changed, but it does intend to work with him.
The trustee, in their own wisdom, or lack thereof, they made a choice to choose him. And so we accept that's the board's right, that's their choice. And in that regard, notwithstanding our protestation, we will do our best as a union to support him during his presidency. In our mind, perhaps what the board saw was his leadership as a city planner, as a city developer, as a city leader. And somehow they determined that that qualification will translate more into leading the university. The jury is out on that, and we will see.
Freetown constituents now have better access to health care following the grand reopening of the Anne's Community Clinic. Diane Dorset tells us more tonight.
The infrastructure is strong, the technology is up to date, and the services will now reach more people more quickly with fewer barriers.
With the snip of the ribbon and a round of applause, the Annestown Community Clinic officially reopened Wednesday. The fully renovated facility now features extended hours, new medical equipment, and a dedicated space for maternal and pediatric care. Health officials feel the investment reflects a nationwide effort to improve access to quality health care. Minister of Health and Wellness, the Honourable Michael Darville, says health care has remained a central focus of the government's agenda.
From day one, the Davis-led administration announced that health care would be a national priority. Since then, we have remained focused in delivering results and working diligently to ensure that Bahamians throughout our archipelago have access to safe, comprehensive healthcare services in their respective communities.
The clinic has been serving its community since 1979, and after several years of renovations now complete and staff already welcoming patients, the facility is officially back in service. But even as officials celebrated the opening, Prime Minister the Honourable Philip Davis reminded the crowd that this moment goes beyond politics.
This is not about political promises. It's about people's lives. People who deserve to be treated with dignity. People who deserve care that's consistent, local, and humane. This clinic in Annestown has been modernized, not refurbished, but modernized. It's been equipped to deliver 21st century primary care.
Health officials say the Annestown Community Clinic is expected to serve between 500 and 600 patients a month. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Diane Dorset.
Thanks, Diane. Tuesday's announcement of SpaceX landing before halted has sparked some curiosity. Daniel Dean spoke with the Minister of Tourism, who advised that the evaluations are being made, and thereafter it will be clear as day that the protection of the environment is of paramount importance.
There have been Bahamians who had some questions about environmental impact. We want to ensure that there's a public consultation, that people have an opportunity to ask whatever questions they wish. So that's why the EIA is important.
Deputy Prime Minister Chester Cooper's comments come after recent updates that SpaceX aircraft are temporarily prohibited from landing here in the country.
SpaceX is required to submit a post-launch report that focuses on environmental impact. That report hasn't yet been submitted. We're requiring that report before we approve any additional landings.
DPM Cooper assures the Bahamian public that after the assessments regarding the SpaceX landings are done, if it's found to be harmful to the environment, they will certainly be brought to an end.
This is a valued partnership. We think it's progressive and innovative, futuristic. We believe that we will participate in shaping technology and research for future centuries. We're delighted to be a part of it. We're delighted to be in partnership with the SpaceX operation. We are committed to doing it safely. We are committed to protecting our waters. We are committed to protecting our environment.
Consultants Braun Limited is completing work on the post-landing reports. And at the end of the summer, the government will have the environmental impact assessment. Reporting for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Danielle Dean.
Thanks, Danielle. DPM Cooper also responding to Free National Movement Deputy Leader Shannon Cartwright's description of the government's SpaceX deal as botched and baffling. The Deputy Prime Minister maintains that the Davis administration has been clear that the pause of Falcon 9 landings is only until a satisfactory post-launch report is received and an EIA assessment has been approved, which is projected to be completed this summer. He claims Cartwright's statement contains several falsehoods in an attempt to gaslight and fearmonger with the Bahamian people. The DPM states government is happy that the Member of Parliament for St. Barnabas is now awake to the concept of transparency, and perhaps he is now ready to answer some questions about his tenure as Chairman of Beaches and Parks Authority. Commissioner of Police Shannon Knowles giving a vote of confidence to the police investigators and officials working on the probe into the death of 23-year-old Denari Malcolmont, who was found on a beach on Paradise Island on April 4th. His mother contends that her son appears to have been beaten to death. However, the pathologist has listed drowning as the cause of his death. Meantime, they await a forensic toxicology report.
Our pathologist has been working in this position for many, many years, and I am not going to defend the pathologist's report. What I will say is we stand on the pathologist's report at this moment, and the investigation into this matter is continuing. Once we are at a position to hand this matter over to His Majesty's coroner, we will do so, and then the coroner will make a determination. And that is as much as I can say at this time, that we sympathize with the family. We certainly offer our condolences. We do have professional people here in the Bahamas who understand their work, their portfolios, and we will turn this matter over to His Majesty's coroner in short time.
The Deputy Prime Minister weighing in on proposed life vest body cams for jet ski riders, urging those even thinking of contributing to an already cloudy perception of the Bahamas by the United States to think again. Here again is Daniel Dean.
The task force that diagnosed the jet ski industry as one that would be safer if patrons wore body cams falls within the remit of the Ministry of Energy and Transport. Deputy Prime Minister the Honourable Chester Cooper says his ministry is dedicated to getting to the bottom of the issue. The Ministry of Tourism's Director of Security even leading the task force.
We are clearly concerned about the perception that these entrepreneurs are providing an unsafe experience for our guests. We want to fix that perception. We want the world to know that they can come and enjoy the waters of the Bahamas and not be concerned about being harmed. And therefore, we are working hand in hand with our colleagues at the Ministry for Transport to ensure that we put in place the requisite call-up systems, the requisite enforcement mechanisms.
Recent reports allege that the primary perpetrators are unlicensed operators. The DPM recommends that they all pause to think before the act, that this is their livelihood.
The Ministry of National Security is also critical, but essentially we want jet ski operators to also know that they must self-regulate, and they are biting the hands that feed them if they participate in any illicit activities involving residents or guests, and we want them to understand that Bahamians and our guests have a very low tolerance for this type of behavior.
Bringing remarks at Monday's opening of the police force's domestic violence unit, U.S. Charge d'Affaires Kimberly Furnish. She acknowledged that she was proud of the progress the Bahamas government has made in working on the issue. The event was a stark reminder of the urgent need to address safety concerns comprehensively.
We must continue to work together so that the Bahamas is a safe place for Bahamians and visitors alike, and that perpetrators of such violent crimes are held accountable.
Reporting for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Danielle Dean.
117 foreign nationals recently faced a magistrate in connection with violating immigration laws. Between April 1st and 13th, Immigration's Enforcement Unit and Maritime Revenue Task Force apprehended 108 Haitians, 2 Jamaicans, and 1 national each from Canada, the Dominican Republic, Trinidad and Tobago, Zambia, and Guyana. Illegal landings, overstaying, engaging in gainful occupation without authorization, attempting to mislead an immigration officer, and unlawful use of a forged document were some of the charges levied on the illegals during the operation that occurred across New Providence, Grand Bahama, and Abaco. Maritime Revenue Task Force officers also apprehended individuals involved in similar violations in the Abaco Keys, with a total of $23,600 in immigration revenue collected during this particular operation. All individuals are tonight at the Carmichael Road Detention Center for further processing. Still to come, the significance of Holy Week. You're watching the Bahamas tonight at 11. More news in just a moment.
Step into a life of luxury and convenience with the Commonwealth Bank Platinum Card. From earning premium cashback rewards on every dollar spent to enjoying comprehensive travel insurance, shop with confidence, knowing your purchases are protected. Our Platinum Concierge service turns your requests into reality, wherever life takes you. Let the Commonwealth Bank Platinum Card be your passport to exceptional experiences. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Hi everyone, when heading to Florida to shop for your essentials, book your transportation with GoGoFlorida.com. The $100 cash deposit is back now on your debit card. Accepted at Fort Lauderdale, Miami, Palm Beach, and Orlando. Now there are lots of options to choose from, but I like the Tesla X, the electric vehicle, because I don't have to worry about gassing up. Or the Jeep Compass seating 5 with lots of space for your luggage or shopping bags. For the best deals, book now at GoGoFlorida.com, BahamasAir.com, and also available at Bahamas Air Sales Office.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, where safety is first.
Inflation still up, this time by 0.4%. That's according to the Consumer Price Index for February. The Bahamas National Statistical Institute reports this February 2025 increase followed a 0.1% increase between the months of December 2024 and January 2025. On a month-to-month basis, the major increases by group, including health by 5.6%, along with food and non-alcoholic beverages by 1.2%, while major decreases were seen in clothing and footwear alongside miscellaneous goods, both declining by 0.3%. Additionally, the Consumer Price Index increased by 0.8% when compared to the same period last year. Gasoline recorded an increase of 1.5% this past February, while diesel remained unchanged. However, when compared to this same period last year, gasoline increased 3.4% and diesel declined 13%. Over the next few days, Christians everywhere will continue to reflect on the events leading up to Jesus' death, burial, and resurrection. This time of reflection and remembrance is part of activities marking Holy Week, the holiest time on the Christian calendar. Head of the Anglican Church, the Right Reverend Leish Boyd, highlights the significance of the occasion.
A number of significant events happened. The Last Supper, the agony in the garden, the betrayal, the trial, the crucifixion, the death and burial, and then of course Holy Week ends with Easter, the resurrection.
The Anglican bishop is encouraging everyone to embrace life this Easter season.
Life has its challenges, but life is wonderful, and we must seek to make life as good as we can for everybody whom we meet. You know, let's share the broad goodness, kindness, encouragement. Let's help people to see the beauty of life. Let's help those who are in need, because this is how we give legs to the Easter gospel. Jesus didn't just rise from the dead just right so. He rose from the dead in order to give us new life. And new life isn't just being alive. New life is the quality of life that we build for ourselves and that we try to help others to have.
Charles Fisher is up next with a look at sports. Stay with us.
We're here at the Nassau Village Community Center project, where over the past 17 months, we've hired over 20 Bahamian subcontractors to bring this beautiful project to fruition.
I've been living in Nassau Village for more than 19 years, and to see a project like this bring great joy and pride to me.
This state-of-the-art multi-purpose community center will serve as a crime-fighting initiative in the community. Also help with the education of our kids in this community and a hurricane shelter.
Yeah, and it also shows what we as Bahamians can achieve when we work hand in hand with each other.
We have the technical know-how, and we can pretty much deliver on any project here in the Bahamas or in the world.
Bahamas Carifta and the Bahamian company, they prove that they believe in Bahamians.
Based on the outcome of this project, I don't think they're disappointed in giving a small person an opportunity to do a job such as this.
The more opportunity they get, the more opportunity we will get.
If you look around and see the work done so far, it just shows what we as Bahamians can do.
Good evening and thanks for staying up late. It's time for sports. Our Carifta swimmers, they left earlier today for the games in Trinidad and Tobago. Lyndon Pindling International Airport buzzing with excitement and with the colors of the aquamarine black and gold. 242 ready to take over Trinidad and Tobago, and the swimmers looking for their 7th straight. Everyone, they are packed and ready for competition. A cheer to get all the juices flowing before boarding the flight, getting on the plane, and then jumping into the pool. We hear from Ayrton Monka and William Farrington.
Very excited, like Will was saying, like seeing everybody in the same uniform, all representing Team Bahamas, it's definitely going to be a wonderful experience. And, we've won 6 straight, and honestly, those teams over there are going to be hungry. They're going to want that title from us, but we're not going to give it to them. And that's what's going to come down to. Which team wants it bad enough? Which team wants it more? And clearly, we're that team. We're going to 7P.
All right, what would the 7th title be?
Just show how dominant we are, how much we take care and pride in, the development in young swimmers in the Bahamas. And just showing off our excellence.
I mean, we're all extremely excited as a team to go over to Trinidad and bring that 7P home. We've been training hard. We're rested now. Been on a Tabor swim. We've been eating well. We're just all extremely excited to go and get our 7P.
All right, how excited are you guys now that you're in the airport, you got your uniform on now? What's the mindset now that you guys came?
Yeah, definitely. It gets real, when everyone's here and we're all as a team. I know a lot of people are nervous right now, especially the people that it's their first time. But, it's just our duty and our job to help them get through that. And, it's good to see everyone as a team.
Well, before our swim team left today, they, along with our track and field team, held a pep rally last night over at the Andrew Rogers Baseball Diamond, and it was full of excitement. I'm Ajal Knowles with that report.
The vibes were certainly high yesterday in the foyer of the Andre Rogers National Baseball Stadium as Bahamas Aquatics, along with the Bahamas Carifta track and field team, assembling to build up hype as both teams head into Trinidad and Tobago for this year's Carifta Games. The athletes, along with coaches, as well as their family and friends, bringing the energy at a pep rally hosted by the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, Sports Minister, the Honorable Mario Boleg.
We all are going to be on one island in Trinidad and Tobago, competing in different venues and facilities. It's important to still know that we still one team Bahamas. And while Aquatics is on its way to try and make 7 straight, and we're hoping that they'll pull off, we expect a very, very successful track team that is heading out here. I've looked at them during the nationals and the various GSSSA and BISSE events. Also the track meet in Grand Bahama, and I see a very strong team. And so I'm looking for great success from both of these teams. And so it's good for them to come together, not separately, but as one.
We also caught up with the captains for both the track and field and swimming teams, who said with both events being held in the same country, the teams will feed off each other's energy in an effort to bring home all the gold.
It's very interesting. This is probably the first time we really got together, especially with a big team. And we was able to basically learn off each other, and you will see at the opening ceremony when we get together and become one.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, you know. It's not really likely for all us to be together, so the fact that everyone's coming to meet everyone is kind of a thing to open up everyone's eyes, and everyone can come and be more prideful as a team rather than separate sports.
Experience, it'll be definitely a fun trip, you know, track and swimming in one place in Trinidad. And I feel like that, you know, the two teams coming together, you know, they can feed off of the energy and, you know, give them that extra push, you know, track looking to win Carifta and Trinidad, and, you know, swimming looking to 7 feet, you know, we can really feed off each other's energy, you know, come back home with 2 trophies.
Being here is really an experience, and you can really feel the excitement with the swim team and the track team, and it's really like bringing the Bahamas together.
Now, Bahamas Aquatics did leave earlier today and should now be safely settled in Trinidad, while the track and field team is set to leave on Thursday morning. Stay locked into the ZNS television and radio networks, as we will continue to keep you updated on all the action from Trinidad for the 2025 Carifta Games. For ZNS Total Sports, I'm Amajal Knowles.
ZNS Total Sports have you covered over this weekend as the Nigel Bull softball tournament for men and ladies going on in Albuquerque. And that's where we find Jay Philippe.
The tournament officially kicks off on Thursday at 6 p.m. here on Murphytown Park. In the opening match, the home team, the Albuquerque Pink Panthers, will take on Team Grand Bahama, followed by the opening ceremony at 7:30 p.m., followed by a marquee game between the Gremlins, the back-to-back champions, taking on Team Eleuthera.
This tournament is expected to be very exciting. We have 4-man teams. Some of the top pitchers in the country will be here, headed by Thomas Davis. Then we got Sheldon Pinder coming out of Spanish Well. We have a surprise coming out of Grand Bahama. And as you all know, Freddie Cornish and Oscar Togo will always be tough in Albuquerque. And as you know, this year we intend to be introducing the ladies segment to this tournament. And we have some good up-and-coming young softball females here in Albuquerque, also Grand Bahama, and a team coming out of New Providence. So we're expecting a good showing of softball here, and I'm urging the whole Albuquerque community to come out and watch some good softball.
And now the gold medal match would wrap up on Sunday at 7 p.m. Reporting from Murphytown, Albuquerque for ZNS Total Sports, I'm Jay Philippe.
NBA season into its playoffs, but not for DeAndre Ayton and the Portland Trail Blazers. He missed the last month of the season with a calf injury.
It's just been a little iffy where, you know, whether it's a season or, you know, little nicks and knacks has been taking games away from me. So my job is just to show the organization, you know, they can rely on me.
Thanks for staying up late for Bahamas Tonight Sports. That's going to put a wrap on sports. But don't forget, ZNS Total Sports have you covered with the Carifta swim and track and field teams over there in Trinidad and Tobago.
Here at Immigration Care Service, you can trust us, especially if you have experienced issues or problems with the U.S. immigration at the borders. We'll do our best to provide options and solutions to immigration roadblocks, so travelers can continue visiting the U.S. and residents can continue living their lives in the U.S. without worries. The best part? Our services are affordable and accessible. Take the mystery, confusion, and fear out of your immigration concerns. Contact Immigration Care Service today.
You've got termites and need to get rid of them fast? Trust Rentokil Initial. With over 60 years experience in the Bahamas, the global brand, training, and expertise can't be beat. Only Rentokil Initial gives you a 3-year warranty and payment plan options on termite fumigation. No one can match the range of treatments we offer, such as fumigation, pre-construction treatments, termite monitoring, and more. No matter where you are in the Bahamas, we will come to you. When it comes to complete termite eradication, there's only one name, Rentokil Initial.
The internet isn't just for surfing. There's a sea of shoppers buying online, and you can connect with them on Tingsy. Tingsy is the SBDC's online storefront built for Bahamians. Take your business to the next level by selling to customers online, both at home and around the world. People want Bahamian things, and if you got things to sell, sell on Tingsy. Find out how you can connect with a sea of buyers by visiting tingsybahamas.com.
It's now time for a weather check with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Royston. Our live weather radar showing relatively dry conditions despite the fact that we had a front system push through the northwest Bahamas this morning without any fanfare. But we do have some moisture just to the south of the Turks and Caicos Islands that's associated with a surface trough, which is drifting towards the south. But we expect it to back up over the next couple of days, and it could bring some more showers to the Turks and Caicos Islands and the extreme southeast Bahamas over the next 24 hours. And your temperatures around the islands this evening: Freeport, Grand Bahama at 74 degrees as we head into the Abacos, Green Toll Key at 74, Marshall, Abacos 72 degrees, the Berry Islands 77, in Alistown, Bimini 77 degrees there as well. Fresh Creek, Central Andros 76, Kemp Space, Andros, Black Point, Exuma all at 75 degrees. Over in Alistown, Cat Island, we have a temperature there of 73 degrees. And we take you further south: Georgetown, Exuma 74, Rum Key 73, San Salvador at 73 degrees, and then we pick it up some 76 in Ragged Island, Clownstown, Long Island, and Crooked Island. Betsy Bay, McGowan, and Acklands, they have 74 degrees. Matthew Town, Agua 76, and the Turks and Caicos Islands also at 76 degrees. And your forecast tonight: we're looking at clear skies, a bit on the cool side with the low temperature getting down to 67 degrees. And tomorrow it's going to be pleasant with lots of sunshine. High temperature tomorrow climbing up to 81 degrees. And your extended weather forecast for the next several days, as we can begin on Thursday, you will see those temperatures in the low 80s during the daytime. But the most thing that you would get out of this forecast is that lots of sunshine during the daytime. Those nighttime temperatures, they're going to remain pretty mild as we're looking at some low 70s. Occasionally, we'll pick up a 69 degrees here on Monday, and then we get back into those low 70s as we head into the early part of next week. Royston.
Oh, the weather is a blessing for all the Easter activities. Well, that's going to do it for the Bahamas tonight at 11. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. Thank you for watching, and good night.
At Tonic Williams Darden Highway, I'm Tijaro Hudson. This is ZNS.
Far away stood an old rugged